Hey everyone, imagine stumbling upon a dying alien predator, the galaxy's ultimate nightmare, and choosing to save it, only to see it torch entire fleets to protect you. I'm Amara Singh, and this is my saga of compassion-defying reason, forging an unbreakable bond and rewriting the stars. Stick around, smash that like button, subscribe, and let me know where you're watching from in the comments. The galaxy operated on a brutal hierarchy, with the Krathar reigning supreme. 9-foot titans clad in obsidian exoskeletons, their scythe-like claws and predatory instincts making them the stuff of interstellar nightmares. They raised worlds that defied them, leaving only ash and fear. Below them, the concord of sentient spheres, a tenuous coalition of lesser species, survived through a delicate balance of tribute, diplomacy, and strategic cowardice. The Veluri, with their crystalline, minds calculated surrender probabilities using quantum algorithms. The Cypheran wove epic ballads glorifying retreat as a noble art. Humans, the galaxy's newest arrivals, were an anomaly, technologically inferior, yet audaciously unpredictable, like uninvited guests who charm the host while raiding the banquet. Dr. Amara Singh, 38, was humanity's most perplexing ambassador. A xenobiologist with an insatiable curiosity for alien ecosystems and a reckless disregard for caution, she'd convinced the Terran Science Coalition to fund Orion's Echo, her research outpost on Gliese 832d. The planet was a vibrant, perilous paradise. Bioluminescent jungles pulsed with neon light, crystal rivers carved glowing canyons, and flora wielded razor-sharp defenses. Orion's Echo, a fortress of advanced labs and survival systems perched on a cliff overlooking a radiant abyss, was Amara's sanctuary. For 3 years, she cataloged Gliese's life forms, driven by a conviction that understanding alien biology could unite the galaxy's fractured species. Her AI companion, Kepler, was her exasperated partner, its processors strained by her habit of hauling dangerous specimens into the lab. "Dr. Singh," Kepler droned, its synthetic voice dripping with sarcasm. "Regulation 927C explicitly requires triple containment for unclassified organisms. That venomous fern could liquefy your exosuit." Amara, engrossed in a hollow microscope studying the fern's regenerative cells, barely glanced up. "Kepler, its proteins could redefine. Medical science, it's sedated." "Your definition of sedated," Kepler retorted, "is why my risk assessment module is teetering at 94% failure." Their debate was interrupted by blaring proximity alarms. Sensors detected a massive object tearing through Gliese's atmosphere, its heat signature screaming military craft in distress, emitting energy signatures absent from human databases. The crash site, 20 kilometers away in a neon-lit jungle, was a crater of shattered crystal trees and smoldering earth. Amara, dismissing Kepler's frantic objections, "This violates 32 protocols," donned her exosuit, grabbed her field kit, and ventured out, propelled by a mix of scientific curiosity and an unshakable sense of duty. The wreckage was a grotesque amalgamation of biotech and metal, half buried in Gliese's crust, its hull pulsing faintly like a dying heart. It emitted distress signals in a language Amara's translator couldn't decipher. Her scanners screamed warnings: biometallic composites requiring industrial-grade foundries, weapons capable of leveling continents, and a single life form, massive, alive, and extraordinarily dangerous. Navigating the ship's twisted core, she found Zikthar, a Krathar warrior, unconscious and bleeding indigo from deep gashes across his exoskeleton. His mandibles twitched faintly, his form a chilling testament to millions of years of predatory evolution. Any rational being would have fled. Krathar were the galaxy's boogeymen, their raids the stuff of legend, their treaties bankrupting entire civilizations. Amara saw a wounded being, moments from death without intervention. "This is either my greatest discovery or my final mistake," she muttered, deploying her medkit. Extracting Zikthar was a grueling 6-hour ordeal: anti-grav stretchers, plasma, sutures, and raw determination. Back at Orion's Echo, Kepler's outrage reached apocalyptic levels. "You've brought a Krathar void stalker into our lab. Its species is classified as a level 10 extinction threat." "He's dying, Kepler," Amara snapped, assembling surgical tools with focused intensity. I don't leave anyone to suffer. Over 16 exhausting hours, she stabilized Zikthar, combining human medical techniques with educated guesses about Krathar physiology, redundant organ systems, tissue that regenerated under stress, neural networks rivaling the galaxy's most advanced AIs. Zikthar awoke to find a human tending him, unrestrained, in a lab that should have been a predator's trap. His translation implants captured her words. Take it easy, big guy. You're safe. Now Zikthar's worldview, built on conquest and dominance, crumbled. This human had risked everything to save him, without expectation of reward. Why? He rasped, his voice a low grind of stone. Amara, monitoring his vitals, shrugged. You needed help. Plus, you're a walking xenobiology dissertation. Her blunt honesty, fearless yet disarmingly naive, left Zikthar grappling with concepts his culture deemed madness. A new subplot emerged, Amara's strained relationship with her older brother Vikram, a Terran diplomat who'd pleaded with her to take safer assignments. His hollow call, warning of corporate interest in her research, stirred memories of their childhood in Mumbai's rain-soaked streets, grounding her resolve even as guilt gnawed at her. Zikthar's recovery was a scientific triumph and a cultural collision. Amara transformed a secondary lab into a medical bay, outfitting it with sensors to track his alien vitals, heartbeats that echoed like war drums, blood chemistry that defied human understanding. Kepler, ever vigilant, detected Zikthar's pheromones as territorial bonding markers, issuing a stern warning. He's imprinting you as part of his pack, Dr. Singh. Krathar pack bonds trigger extreme defensive behaviors, often catastrophic. Amara, engrossed in analyzing Zikthar's regenerative cells, waved it off. He's accelerating my research by decades. Let's not panic. Their communication evolved rapidly as Zikthar's neural implants adapted to English, and Amara's software deciphered the guttural phonemes of Krathar speech. Their conversations exposed a profound divide. Krathar viewed mercy as a tactical flaw, prey as mere resources to be consumed. Your species lacks survival logic, Zikthar observed, watching Amara dissect a Gliesa predator's venom sac with surgical precision. You aid an enemy who could destroy you. Amara grinned, unfazed. Maybe we're just too stubborn to give up on anyone. Zikthar's contributions to her work were staggering. His predatory intellect processed her data with uncanny precision, revealing Krathar adaptations, tissue that regenerated under extreme conditions, toxins that neutralized biological and chemical threats, neural pathways that analyzed tactical scenarios like quantum supercomputers. The Vikram subplot deepened, adding emotional weight. His frequent holocalls oscillated between admiration for Amara's brilliance and dread for her safety. You're out there with no backup, Amara, he said, his voice heavy with worry, recalling their childhood dreams of exploring the stars together. Zikthar, overhearing these exchanges, logged Vikram as a kin ally, his protective instincts flaring at the mention of threats to Amara's work. Her conversations with Vikram, steeped in nostalgia for Mumbai's monsoon nights, became a lifeline to her humanity, anchoring her amidst the alien chaos. A new subplot introduced Dr. Lena Torres, Amara's remote botanist assistant whose encrypted messages urged caution. Lena's past was marked by tragedy. Her brother had perished in a Krathar raid, leaving her wary of Amara's alliance with Zikthar. Their exchanges, initially tense, evolved into a tentative friendship, with Lena's expertise in Gliesas, Flora complementing Amara's research. Lena's warnings, though, added a layer of doubt. Was Amara's compassion blinding her to Zikthar's potential danger? Trouble arrived with a corporate scout ship, commanded by Executive Clara Voss, a calculating profiteer who saw Amara's data, regenerative proteins with bioengineering applications, as a corporate windfall. Dr. Singh, your grants are under review, Voss announced, her tone laced with predatory intent, suggesting a takeover of Orion's Echo. Zikthar, now able to move with the fluid grace of a recovering warrior, appeared in the lab's doorway, his 9-foot frame exuding menace. Voss froze, her composure cracking. What in the stars is that? Zikthar, my research partner, Amara replied calmly, concealing his Krathar identity. Voss pressed her agenda, demanding Amara's relocation to a corporate lab under the guise of optimizing resources. Zigthar's systems flagged her words as direct threats to Amara's autonomy and safety. His response was immediate, a low, guttural snarl, claws flexing with lethal precision, sending Voss and her team scrambling to their shuttle, promising a reassessment. Kepler, with digital exasperation, remarked, "You've just escalated, from scientist to galactic diplomatic crisis." Amara, observing Zigthar's careful handling of her lab equipment, felt a mix of awe and unease. Was he a true partner, or a volatile force she'd unwittingly unleashed? Voss's panicked report to Terran colonial security misidentified Zigthar as a Krathar invasion scout, triggering a full-scale military response. Within 96 hours, a formidable fleet, 6 cruisers, 3 dreadnoughts, and a dozen support vessels, dropped into Glisa's system, their orders chilling. Neutralize the Krathar threat, secure Amara's research, and sterilize Orion's Echo, if necessary. Kepler's sensors lit up like a supernova. Evacuate immediately, Dr. Singh. They'll glass the planet in 12 hours. Amara found Zigthar in the lab, his focus on her data revealing a curiosity that transcended his predatory instincts. "Colonial security believes you're launching an invasion," she said, her voice steady despite the dread pooling in her chest. "They're coming to kill you." Zigthar's exoskeleton darkened, his posture shifting to a combat-ready stance, every muscle coiled like a spring. "How many ships?" he demanded, his tone devoid of fear. 21, with enough firepower. "To crack moons," Amara replied, consulting Kepler's tactical feeds. Zigthar's response was stark. "They threaten you. They will perish." Amara's desperate comms to the fleet's commander, Admiral Lin, were met with cold dismissal. Lin saw only a Krathar incursion, a threat to human colonies. Zigthar's crashed ship, partially self-repaired through biotech processes that defied human engineering, interfaced with his neural systems, transforming him into a one-warrior arsenal. Amara watched, heart pounding, as he launched his vessel, a blur of organic metal fury slicing through Glisa's atmosphere. Kepler's real-time feeds tracked his assault, precise, relentless, and horrifyingly efficient. Cruisers shattered under barrages of bioplasmic projectiles, dreadnoughts crumpled like tinfoil. In 4 hours, the fleet was reduced to glowing debris, a testament to Krathar military supremacy. Zigthar's rampage didn't stop at Glisa. His tactical systems identified Colonial Command's headquarters on Proxima Centauri as the source of the threat to Amara's safety. Amara's comms erupted with distress signals as Zigthar's ship tore through human space, dismantling military outposts with surgical precision. Vikram's holocall was a mix of panic and anguish. "Amara, he's obliterating our defenses. What have you done?" Guilt and horror warred within her. She'd saved a life, not intended to spark a war. Lena's messages, laced with fear but tempered by loyalty, urged Amara to flee, but she remained, bound to Zigthar by a sense of responsibility. New subplot introduced Clyra, a Valuri envoy who contacted Amara post-crisis, fascinated by her alliance with a Krathar. Clyra's quantum analyses warned of cascading galactic consequences. A single Krathar's actions could destabilize the conquered. Her hollow meetings with Amara, blending scientific rigor with ethical debates, planted seeds for cross-species diplomacy, even as Zigthar's war raged. Clyra's cautious optimism contrasted with Lena's trauma, adding tension to Amara's growing network of allies. Zigthar's assault was halted by a coalition of Veluri and Sipharon peacekeepers, whose fleets blockaded Proxima Centauri, forcing a ceasefire. Colonial Command, its forces decimated, surrendered, reeling from the power of a single Krathar warrior. Clara Voss, now in protective custody, faced charges for inciting the crisis with her reckless report. Amara, at Orion's Echo, confronted a galaxy now acutely aware of her role. The Conquered issued an unprecedented edict. Orion's Echo was a protected research sanctuary, Amara's work deemed vital to galactic stability, not for its scientific merit, but to appease Zigthar's wrath. Amara wrestled with the fallout. Her act of compassion had saved Zigthar but cost thousands of lives, leaving her haunted by unintended consequences. Vikram's hollow calls grew tense, his diplomatic career strained by the crisis she'd sparked. "You've made humanity a galactic target," he said, yet pledged to navigate the political storm to protect her. Lena's messages softened, her grief giving way to admiration for Amara's courage, though she urged vigilance. Clyra's visits to Orion's Echo, studying Zicthar's cooperation, fueled her vision of a multi-species research alliance, her Valuri logic tempered by a growing respect for human empathy. Zicthar, back at the outpost, resumed his role in Amara's research, his bond with her unshaken. Kepler's analysis confirmed his pack bond. "You are his anchor, Dr. Singh. He'd raise entire systems to protect you." Their conversations deepened, moving beyond science to personal revelations. Zicthar shared Krathar myths of star hunters who shaped constellations, while Amara described Earth's monsoon rains, their thunder echoing her resolve. His data analysis propelled her work forward, unlocking bioengineering breakthroughs, regenerative drugs that healed catastrophic injuries, alloys resistant to Krathar toxins, and neural interfaces inspired by his cognitive architecture. A new subplot introduced Valthor, a rogue Krathar warrior who rejected Zicthar's alliance with humans, viewing it as a betrayal of their predatory heritage. Amara's mediated talks with Valthor, facilitated by Zicthar, were tense but productive, gradually easing his hostility and preventing raids on human colonies. The Concord's funding transformed Orion's Echo into a galactic research hub, granting Amara unlimited resources and diplomatic immunity. Corporate and military threats dissipated, replaced by a cautious reverence. Zicthar's presence was an unassailable shield, his loyalty to Amara absolute. Yet she questioned her legacy. Was she a savior or the catalyst of chaos? Kepler, with dry humor, observed, "You've turned compassion into a weapon, Doctor." 4. Years after the crisis, Orion's Echo had evolved into a galactic nexus, its sprawling labs buzzing with human, Valuri, Sipharon, and even a few Krathar scientists. Stellar Haven, a Concord-backed initiative, safeguarded Amara's work, funding xenobiology research across 50 star systems. Zicthar, now an unofficial Krathar ambassador, bridged human-Krathar relations, persuading his kin that humans were allies, not prey. His radical redefinition of mercy as a form of strength ignited a cultural schism among Krathar clans, with some embracing his vision, while others clung to their predatory traditions. Amara's breakthroughs, regenerative therapies inspired by Krathar biology, bioengineered crops resistant to galactic plagues, saved billions, earning her accolades she humbly deflected. Vikram, now a senior diplomat, negotiated landmark human Krathar treaties, his bond with Amara healing through shared victories. Lena relocated to Orion's Echo, her bioluminescent plants revolutionizing sustainable agriculture, their friendship, a quiet but vital anchor. Clyra's research, blending Valuri quantum mathematics with Krathar bioadaptations, secured galactic grants, solidifying Amara's role as a mentor. The Valthor subplot expanded. Amara's persistent diplomacy, mediated by Zicthar, transformed Valthor into a staunch ally, his clan becoming protectors of Orion's Echo. Challenges persisted. Corporate spies attempted to steal Amara's data, and anti-Krathar protests erupted on human colonies. But Zicthar's presence and Amara's deft diplomacy neutralized these threats. She launched Monsoon's Call, an annual festival celebrating Earth-Krathar unity, drawing 1,000 attendees, including Vikram, Lena, and Clyra. Zicthar's keynote address, praising Amara's compassion as a force stronger than any weapon, silenced skeptics and inspired a standing ovation. A new subplot introduced Caleb, a human pilot scarred by Krathar raids, whose bitterness initially clashed with Amara's optimism. Her mentorship, coupled with Zicthar's unexpected empathy, helped Caleb join Stellar Haven as a logistics coordinator, his healing mirroring Valthor's redemption. Amara's cliffside dome, adorned with her bronze star and Krathar artifacts, became a symbol of her dual legacy. Nightly conversations with Zicthar, now fluent in human humor, deepened their bond. "You've reshaped my stars," he said, his mandibles twitching in what Amara swore was a smile. "And you've rewritten ours," she replied. 6 years post-crisis, Amara stood at the 7th monsoon's call, Orion's echo, a gleaming campus under Glisa's neon skies. Over 2,000 gathered, humans, Krathar, Valuri, Sipharon, and even a delegation from the reclusive Zarathians, celebrating a unity once thought impossible. Vikram led interstellar trade summits, securing economic alliances that bolstered human influence. Lena unveiled bioengineered forests that purified Glisa's atmosphere, her work earning galactic acclaim. Clyra presented a cross-species biotech platform, merging Krathar resilience with Valuri precision, heralded as a new era in medicine. Caleb coordinated aid missions to war-torn systems, his transformation a testament to Amara's influence. Zigthar, now a revered Krathar mentor, trained a new generation of scientists, his pact bond with Amara, a galactic model for cooperation. Valthor, a steadfast guardian, led a Krathar honor guard, their presence a symbol of peace. The crisis was a fading memory, but its legacy had reshaped the cosmos. The Stellar Accord, inspired by Amara's actions, bound 70 species in a pact to protect xenobiology and foster mutual defense. The Krathar, once feared marauders, joined the Concord as full members, their raids halted by Zigthar's tireless advocacy. Amara's therapies saved trillions across the galaxy, her name synonymous with the power of compassion. She declined seats on galactic councils, preferring the lab, but accepted a Krathar honor, a rare claw-carved medallion, which she dedicated to Zigthar in a quiet ceremony. A young Zorathian scientist's letter read, "Your kindness redefined what strength means." Amara filed it alongside thousands of similar messages, each a reminder of her impact. At Monsoon's call, she addressed the crowd. "I saved a Vaik's life, not knowing it would save worlds. This is for every being who dares to care, who believes empathy can outshine fear." Zigthar, standing beside her, raised a claw in salute, triggering a roar of approval that echoed across the canyon. The festival concluded with a toast to unity, to the stars, to the improbable power of compassion. Amara's bronze star hung beside, Zigthar's medallion in her dome, twin symbols of a galaxy reborn. The struggle wasn't over. Pockets of resistance, both human and Krathar, still challenged the new order. But Amara and Zigthar stood united, their bond a beacon for a brighter future. Have you ever taken a leap of faith for kindness? Share your story in the comments. I'd love to hear how you changed a moment, a life, or a world. If this epic moved you, hit that like button, subscribe, and share it with anyone who believes compassion can shift the stars. Thanks for watching, and let's keep building a galaxy of courage and care.